93.7 The Ticket Sports News go now.
This is Nick Wyman with your sports update. The United States women's hockey team opened play at the 2026 Winter Olympics and cruised to a 5-1 win in the preliminary round over Czechia. Alex Carpenter scored the opening goal for the United States in the first period. The United States plays next on Saturday, February 7th against Finland, with puck drop scheduled for 9:40 a.m. Central Time. The San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams will play the first NFL regular season game in Melbourne, Australia during the 2026 season. The game will be played at the iconic Melbourne Cricket Ground. It will be the first NFL game played in Australia, coming as part of the league's multi-year commitment to play regular season games in the country. The game will be one of 9 international games played during the 2026 NFL season. The NFL will also play games in cities like Paris, Madrid, Mexico City, and London. After months of speculation, the Milwaukee Bucks will not be trading Giannis Antetokounmpo at the trade deadline. Along with this, the Memphis Grizzlies are holding on to Ja Morant, with the trade deadline having passed at 2 p.m. Central Time. Other news surrounding the NBA trade deadline: the Los Angeles Lakers acquired Luke Kennard from the Atlanta Hawks for Gabe Vincent in a 2032 second-round pick. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here at 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're on the green and the cup is in sight. Line up your putt right here on 93.7 The Ticket with Arden's Angle. Join Husker golfer Arden Louchheim as she discusses all things college golf and life as a student athlete. Here is Arden's Angle with your host, Arden Louchheim.
Welcome into 93.7 The Ticket and Arden's Angle. Another lovely Thursday. And I'm not lying this time when I say that. It was a nice one. I played golf outside today. Saw the ball fly for the first time in a month.
Are you guys going to be golfing outside for the next 2 weeks?
Ideally, yeah, that is the hope. We are, I guess I talked about it a little bit on the show on Tuesday, which is the golf show, but we are supposed to be qualifying this weekend. I think we will be. Our Saturday just got shortened a little bit because our coach doesn't like to have us out there if the feels like is below 32. And when we were warming up, it was going to be a little iffy. So we're only playing 9 holes on Saturday, but it's 18 Friday, 9 Saturday, 18 Sunday for qualifying, and it'll be outside. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, cannot complain about being outside, first week in February.
No.
Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to adjust my...
Yeah, go for that. No, I did look ahead, though. It's going to be like 50s, 60s, like next week, too. Like, we get this for a while. I'm not complaining. I usually consider February the worst possible month for this if you live in Nebraska because the weather always sucks.
Yeah.
What a pleasant surprise, Mother Nature.
Yeah, and I've heard it's supposed to snow next Wednesday, so we're just going to enjoy it while we have it.
Okay, maybe I misspoke there. I know at least Monday's nice.
I think Monday, Tuesday are nice, but I think Wednesday might snow. But yeah, excited about the good weather. Went out and saw the ball fly outside, got to putt. So just a lovely Thursday. I hope everyone listening is having a good one themselves. I'm really excited for the show today. We have another guest on coming in segment 2. So we'll kind of allude to her. Arden's Husker All-Star of the Week is track and field athlete from Nebraska, CC DeBaum. She will be coming in, like I said, for segment 2. She's a junior from Fargo. I can't even say all the events she does because she's getting into multi this year, but I'm really excited for that conversation. Also happened to be my freshman year roommate. So we're kind of having back-to-back weeks of roommates, but, I think she is a really interesting person, and just an even better friend and human being. And I'm really excited for that conversation. So that will be coming in segment 2. But before we get to that, we're going to get into the normal setup of the show, Arden's All-Star of the Week, and then my angles. And my All-Star is Scotty Scheffler. The pro golfer coming into this week. He won the American Express tournament. He shot 27 under, won by 4 strokes. It was his 20th career win, which gives him lifetime membership on the PGA Tour. And I just thought it was a really significant win. He didn't lead wire to wire on Sunday. He was 2 strokes back and then shot a 6 under 66 to win by 4, which, being a golfer myself, it's really hard to play good golf. And it's even harder to do it when, back is against the wall, you're trailing on that final day. A lot of the times you'll see people who are in the lead maybe throw down an even or a couple under on the final day, but to go 6 under and really just come from behind and win, I think is very impressive. And just for Scotty Scheffler, who has been dominant for so long, it's very impressive for me to see him come into this new season because the new PGA Tour season just started. I think that was the American Express was maybe event 2. I think the Sony Open, and then it was going to be the American Express. And so to see him come in and just dominate immediately, I believe it was his first start of the season. So 1 start, 1 win. He did struggle a little bit today at the Phoenix Open. So it'll be interesting to see, where we go from there and what the rest of his week looks like. But looking back at last week, since that's what we consider for Arden's All-Star, it just has to be Scotty Scheffler for me.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to complain. I was more in the basketball space, but now they say Scheffler.
Luka's last week, I was highly considering. He's just been dominant on the floor.
I was even wondering like Cooper Flag or Wagler out of Illinois.
Yeah.
Just because Flag, he doesn't quite have the stats of like Luka, but like all of a sudden he is just looks like the guy that everyone thought he was going to be. And then with Wagler, he's just been a menace lately. He just hit like a half quarter the other night off the bank, and we know what he did to us. And then he dropped 40 versus at the Michigan or was it Michigan? I'm blanking. Did they?
Illinois? We played Michigan.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the game where Wagler dropped 46 points. It was versus a top 10 opponent to hand them
Kansas. Is that right? No.
It was a Big Ten opponent, I want to say. But he hands them the first loss, and he's just kind of kept that up. He's been incredibly good. But I'm not going to disagree too much with Scheffler because he's been incredible.
Oh, over Purdue.
Thank you.
Yeah, Purdue, and they're coming into play. The Huskers next week, so that'll be an exciting game.
Mm-hmm. And they're struggling a little bit as of late. They're kind of in the same. Well, I don't want to say struggling. They're both still very good teams, but they haven't been staying undefeated. Yeah, man and woman. But for Purdue and Nebraska, it'll be a fun matchup.
Yeah, but yeah, for Purdue as well, obviously. So that game happening on Tuesday. For me, what separated Scheffler was just the impact of the win, of the kind of era of dominance. I think it's really hard to be dominant for as long as he has been, and then to do it coming into a new season again. It's always, there's with golf, the offseason isn't super long, but there are always question marks of just, can you continue to dominate? Can you continue the run that you're on? And for Scotty coming out, winning the Amex by 4, I think kind of indicated that he in fact can. So that's going to be my all-star of the week, but that gets into my first angle of the week, which relates to golf as well. And that has to do with the Waste Management Phoenix Open, which for anyone who doesn't know, they call it the People's Open. It's the rowdiest golf tournament of the year, probably besides the Ryder Cup, but that one isn't every year. It takes place in Phoenix, and the 16th hole at the course at TPC Scottsdale is this stadium-style hole where there are just grandstands around the entire hole. It's rowdy. I know Joel Damon wore a Seattle Seahawks helmet as he walked down the fairway today. In prior years, Damon himself as well has taken off his shirt and, waved it around above his head. So it's definitely the rowdiest golf tournament. But my question that I wanted to talk about was whether that Phoenix Open has gone too far, has it gotten too rowdy, have they leaned in almost too much? And I have two opinions on this. Being a younger golfer and kind of in the newer generation, I think it's relevant to be aware that you need to draw in a younger generation of fans. You need to appeal to maybe the less stuck up and buttoned up generation of fans. But at its core, golf is still a game that does kind of have a lot of traditional ways, and it is easier to hit a golf shot when it's quiet. And, there are important things of having the green roll a certain way. And if suddenly someone throws a beer can on a green, it creates a mark, that's putting the people behind that group at a disadvantage. And so I think that it's great that it's fun. And I think it's great that it's created this almost party culture that can draw in a new group of fans. And I know people go to the Phoenix Open almost just as more of a spectacle than anything. And even if they're not golf fans, and I think that's great, just to expose it more. But I think it needs to be reeled into a level of, you see videos on TikTok of, people stumbling around the golf course at 10:30 a.m. in the morning, and, just stuff. And even on when a hole-in-one is made on the 16th, you're almost, as a golf fan, you want to see it, but you're almost holding your breath that it doesn't happen, because in the past 2 years, it's become such a tradition of just throwing all of your beer cans onto the hole. And then logistically, it's a nightmare. You have to clean all of it up. It creates a backlog in pace of play reasons. It's not, if someone made a long 3 in a basketball game, you wouldn't throw your beer cans on the court.
Yeah.
And so I don't know why that's suddenly become a thing where the golf hole is literally the arena.
People are wasted.
And it literally, it's
waste management.
Waste management. People are wasted.
As a golfer, though, would that not be kind of electric if you were the guy to hit it?
Oh, I mean, the second that I'm the one hitting that hole in one, throw every can on, throw it at me, like shower me in the champagne, all of it. But no, I think it's been hard seeing it in the past 2 years almost get past the line of being acceptable. And I kind of felt the same way actually about the Ryder Cup in New York this year, not in the like rowdiness, but just the chirping of the fans and stuff like that, which also hosting a Ryder Cup in New York is its own interesting decision because everyone knows how New York sports fans are. But I think part of what I loved of golf, even as a 20-year-old college student, is kind of the integrity that it had and that feeling that you could still get of the core of the game, that of why it was created. And that's that level of kind of peacefulness out on the golf course and the like I said, just the integrity of the sport. If you're out in nature, it's quiet. And I know that when you bring in fans, there's always going to be other additions that come with that. But I just wish it would be toned back maybe slightly where it still is evolving to stay relevant and to be, like I said, something that draws people in and gets people to want to come. But I don't think it should be a place where, like in the Ryder Cup, Rory is getting heckled about his, possible divorce earlier that year from his wife. And then at the Phoenix Open where, the hole is getting absolutely trashed and people are getting absolutely trashed. I think it needs to be pulled in just slightly.
Yeah, there's some things to do it. I mean, you can start banning people that really step over the line or fine. I don't know how you want to handle it, but it's interesting. The waste management one, I don't know how you fix. I mean, that one, as soon as the alcohol starts flowing, you're inviting it in a little bit.
I think the waste management is so hard to pull back now because it's their brand. Like that is what they are known for. Just the People's Open, half of their merch.
Have you been?
I haven't.
Okay.
Just being a lot of the areas you can't even get into at the tournament if you're not 21.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
And so I figured I would go once I'm out of college and, could actually be able to see certain parts of the course and stuff like that. But it's also now that I'm in college too, it's happening this weekend. We're qualifying this weekend. Being a collegiate golfer really takes away your odds of really ever traveling to go see a golf tournament when you're in college.
Do you even want to go see a lot of golf tournaments when you get an off weekend?
I would like to. I've never been to a pro men's tournament, and I would really, really like to. It's they just haven't really been near me. And then the one that finally got added in Utah got added after I graduated, and so I don't live there anymore. But I'd like to a lot. I really want to go to the Ryder Cup one of these days. I think that'd be pretty phenomenal to go to. I looked into tickets this year, but same thing. It just didn't work with our schedule. So I think once I graduate with media too, I'm hoping to be able to cover golf. That's the one sport weirdly that I don't cover, obviously, because I'm playing it.
Right.
So I think that'll be cool for me to get the opportunity to do as well. But yeah, I've never been to a pro golf tournament period for men. I've been to a women one, which was fun.
That's cool. I didn't realize you wanted to do that for golf.
I don't know. It's really hard for me to know because I've actually like literally never done it.
Right.
I've called basketball, softball, baseball, football, gymnastics, but never done golf. So I don't know if I would want to be a commentator because there's not a lot to golf commentating. I think it's a lot of storytelling. But I think it would be fun to, just try it out once and be. I like what Amelia, I guess her name's Duran now, not Migliaccio, but she's like an on-course reporter. And so she'll walk you through like how they're probably going to play the hole and they'll pre-record things that show her using different slopes and throwing up a ball. And I think that would be really cool. And now that they're doing like the walk and talk interviews and stuff like that. So I would like to dip my toe in it just to see, because it's also obviously an area that I do have some expertise in.
It'd be a natural plug-in for sure.
But I think it'll probably come at some point. Moving on to another sporting event for my second angle that is relevant right now, the Olympics. In my short sports broadcasting career, have obviously never talked about an Olympics. A guy just got a ticket right outside the radio station. That is so tough. Sorry.
It's I wonder if the cameras can catch it. You can kind of see the flashing lights, but unfortunately, a cop car's not it. Yeah, drive safe down O Street. They've been up and down these past few days.
That's brutal. But yeah, the Olympics. Never thought in, I haven't gotten to talk about the Olympics yet. I haven't been a sports broadcaster while one has been going yet. So I just wanted to talk about the Olympics as a whole. Highlight my specific U.S. athletes that I am watching and excited to see what they do. So just as a brief overview, the opening ceremonies is tomorrow night, and then the first medals will be awarded on Saturday, February 7th in alpine skiing, cross-country skiing, speed skating, snowboarding, and ski jumping. So very much out on the snow, alpine-wise. Those are obviously kind of the ones that I'm interested in, being a former ski racer myself. And the games will conclude with men's ice hockey final on the morning of February 22nd. So almost a solid 3 weeks of Olympics.
I added a new event in there as well. It's like a hiking and then skiing combined.
Oh, yeah. It's that I don't forgot what it's called, but yeah, you go up the hill and down the hill.
Which seems crazy. I don't know what that one's going to look like. I am curious.
I've done, not for speed, but like I've done that before. It's pretty common in Utah, where I'm from, because you put there, I don't know what they're doing in the thing, but normally you put skins on the bottom of your skis, which basically make your skis able to go uphill. And so in Utah and other mountainous areas, it allows you to go to places that you haven't been to before, and like the different ski lifts can't catch and stuff like that. So that will be super cool. Oh, I just got a text in from my resident resident mother who is listening to the show. She said it's called ski mountaineering.
Ski mountaineering. Okay, that's what it is.
Yeah, ski
Which
mountaineering.
makes a lot of sense.
So that will be super exciting to see what that looks like. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Looking ahead at just kind of the medals themselves, Norway is the odds favorite to win the most gold medals, and they've won the most gold medals the last 3 games. But the U.S. is second in odds, and they have not led the gold medal count, or yes, to specify gold medals. They have not led the gold medal count since 1932. So one of their best chances to do so. And athletes to watch that I think will help the U.S. contribute to that medal count would be Michaela Schifrin, the alpine ski racer. She currently holds the world record for holds the record for 107 World Cup wins, and she leads the overall standings, which have to do with the ski season throughout the year, for a record 6th time. But the reason I'm really excited to watch her is that in the last 2022 Olympics, she DNF'd 3 of the 6 races. It was a pretty big deal. There was that kind of picture that's ingrained in any sports fan or ski fan's brains of her just kind of sitting in a ball on the side of the hill. And she's not a skier who DNFs very often. That stands for do not finish, or did not finish. And she left Beijing without a medal. So I think this is kind of her comeback year. Ideally, hopefully a lot of those kind of mental demons that came up in Beijing will have kind of ridded themselves. And I'm excited to see what she can do. I think she seems to be in a much better headspace. Personally, she got engaged, and she's been through some personal things with the death of her father and all of that. But I think it'll be really interesting to see having the Olympics go about as poorly as it could have gone to now have her come back and see what she can do with it. Another ski racer that I'm really interested in watching, she was my Husker athlete all-star of the week, or just all-star of the week a few weeks ago, but it's Lindsey Vonn. And her comeback story got even more interesting this past week. She's 41 years old. She would be the oldest alpine skier to ever win a medal at the Olympics, but she entirely ruptured her left ACL on Friday in a race in Crans-Montana, Switzerland. And she has still said that she plans on skiing the downhill race. I saw a video of her squatting today on Instagram. So
unbelievable. I don't know.
I mean, I'm
kind of scared to watch, but I saw the squatting video too. So
it is doable because if you think about it, like you can walk on an ACL that's torn until you get surgery. And there are people who just never get surgery and they just strengthen everything around it. So
I guess I've just never skied. Like I've snowboarded. I don't know. I feel like that the pressure it put on there, but I guess maybe it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be, I've ski raced myself. I can't imagine doing it on unstable knees. I twisted my knee once and had some pain in it, and it was pretty difficult to ski with. So I'll be very interested to see what she can do. I guess she's doing the training runs, which take place Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I believe. And then the race is on Sunday. And I think she's pulled out of the Super G. So it'll just be the downhill that Lindsey will be racing in. But that would be, she has said in her own words, this would be the biggest comeback of her career. And that's really saying something given the just multitude of knee injuries, other injuries that she has had. Moving away from ski racing, Ilya Malinin is a men's figure skater, and he'll be in the short program. And I always find figure skating so interesting because it's a sport where some of the athletes can literally just do skills that other people cannot do. It's kind of how I feel about gymnastics as well. And so he is the only skater to have successfully landed a quadruple axel in competition. So he's just able to do a jump, 4 spins in the air that other people just cannot do.
Yeah, that's always the one where you're right. I watch it the exact same way I watch gymnastics.
Yeah.
You just kind of get blown away of the athleticism of some of these individuals because the quadruple axel sounds unreal. And I don't know how you possibly get off the ice and do that.
Because for gymnastics, I've been on their floor, it's bouncy and it's still absurd to me that they can do those flips. But at the same time, they've got a little bit of bounce under them. The figure skaters are just on ice, on skate. That is genuinely one of the wildest sports to me. Also, the one I think I am most excited to watch outside of my skiing. I love watching figure skating. I think it's so interesting. I like the ones where they do the jumps. I don't really remember the difference. But there's the dancing one and then there's the jumping one, and I much prefer the jumping one. But Malinin has not lost a competition since 2023. He's won 4 consecutive national titles and is a 2-time world champion at just 21 years old. So I think it'll be really interesting to see what he can do in the Olympics. And he's been dominant for now 3 years. So hopefully trying to keep that winning streak alive.
How old did you say he was?
21.
Oh man, he stays healthy. He's just going to rack up so many medals.
It's funny to me because in the past, last time the Winter Olympics happened, I was 16. or I guess about to turn 17. And you'll see a couple kids that age, but most of them are still older than you. But now I'm looking at the Olympics, and a good portion of the people are my age or even younger in the teenage years. And it's just wild to me to be that elite at your sport at that age. It's just absolutely insane. My next pairing of people is Madison Chalk and Evan Bates. I love them. They're a figure skating pair, and they're married, which I think is awesome. So they have been probably the most dominating. They're an ice dance team. They've won the past 3 world championships, and they've won all 3 Grand Prix final titles in the U.S. and the U.S. national championships. And they've indicated that this will be their final Olympics. So, their kind of swan song as a married couple pair. I always just think that's so fun. And to compete on the highest stage with a loved one, I don't think there's anything better than that. So that's always how I feel about the siblings and, father and kid and all of that good stuff. So I think that'll be super cool to see their final Olympics together. Moving over, kind of a breaking barriers moment. Layla Edwards for women's hockey is the first Black woman to represent the U.S. in Olympic hockey. Kind of insane to me that those barriers are still able to be broken, but it's great that they are. So that'll be really cool to watch. Hockey is not a sport that I've been very interested in, but I'll definitely watch it this Olympics, because then over on the men's side, NHL players are allowed to be in the Olympics for the first time since 2014. So I think that will be super interesting. That's also crazy to me because the NHL season is going right now. And just the fact that you can just randomly leave your actual regular season and just go to the Olympics really quick is, I know they're taking like a hiatus basically.
Yeah.
But the logistics behind that had to be a nightmare.
Oh, absolute nightmare. But you get into these certain moments where you feel like, okay, this is going to be the year where we send the guys out there again.
Yeah.
And because they won it 2014, right? Yeah. So a little bit of get back, I think, for the U.S.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't have your best players because, right, like most likely the best players in the country or even for other countries are probably also playing pro. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's going to be very interesting to see, once you have the pros back on the ice, what that can look like. And then final 2 for me, Chloe Kim in snowboarding, one of my favorites to watch. She's looking to become the first snowboarder to win 3 consecutive Olympic halfpipe contests, but another kind of maybe bump in the road. She dislocated her right shoulder while training in Switzerland in early January and hasn't competed in a major final in nearly a year. So a combination of a lack of competition in big events and also an injury could kind of provide some difficult barriers to get over for her for that 3rd gold medal in a row. And snowboarding especially, I don't have the names on the top of my head, but I know that there's a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old, both in women's halfpipe, who have been up and coming, which once again, just crazy to me that you can be that age and, really that elite. So halfpipe, also one that if you haven't, I feel like the winter sports are maybe a little more niche and people aren't as aware of them. And I think ski racing is super fun to watch just because I did it, but halfpipe, slope style, big air, free skiing, all of those are just so cool to watch. The amount of air that they get, the tricks that they do, it's absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, it's probably one of my favorite ones to watch. Not quite my favorite. I don't know if we'll have time to get into it, but yeah, it's always unreal. You have those incredible moments, and that's another one where you'll go on a Winter Olympic and somebody will somehow discover a new trick.
Yeah.
Something that has not been done yet before.
And it's just so cool to me that in 2026, there are still tricks and achievements that haven't been done. And I think a lot of that has to do with technology and the evolution of sport, the evolution of training. And that's an entirely different conversation. But it's always fun to kind of see when you especially have a 4-year gap in between the last time that you saw all of these people on a stage together. I think that's just phenomenal to see. My last person to highlight, the last U.S. Olympian, is Jordan Stolz, a speed skater. He's been he's in long track speed skating, and based on all of my research, seems to have some of the highest expectations that anyone has entering these games. He's 7 world championship titles in the last 3 years, and he's competing in, I think, 5 different events. So he's looking to become the 2nd American in history to win 3 or more Olympic gold medals, and he has a chance to win in every single event that he is partaking in. So I can't imagine being that elite at that many different areas. So yeah, speed skating, that's not one that I really have on my radar to watch. But you get the exciting moments where they're overtaking people at the end, but that long form, they're going for so long around the track, just over and over.
It's crazy to watch. That's always one where, yeah, the last final moments, is incredible, but you do kind of get to a point because it is so long, you start losing yourself a little bit where everyone's at.
Yeah. And then a couple personal anecdotes before we go to break. Super Bowl is coming up. I decided not to bore everyone with a Super Bowl preview because I didn't think I could do it in an unbiased manner. But Seahawks are 4.5-point favorites. From a genuine unbiased perspective, I think it's going to be a great game. The Seahawks bring in a really strong offense, and the Patriots bring in a very strong defense. Both quarterbacks kind of banged up. One of the Seahawks' best safeties, Nick Eamon-Murray, was said to be injured in practice on Wednesday. So, and the Seahawks are without one of their running backs, Charbonnet. So it actually could be, I think, a closer game than maybe 4.5-point favorite for the Seahawks. So I'm definitely nervous, but I'm excited about it. I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I forgot to wear my Seahawks sweatshirt today.
I know. I thought you were gonna.
Yeah, I had class before this and just didn't cross my mind to have it on. But I was wearing it the entire day today. I just went home and showered and had to take it off. And then back to the Olympic side. Personally, growing up in Utah, growing up ski racer, I know quite a few Olympians. So Mary Bocock is a first-time Olympian. She went to my high school. One of my really good friends, her younger sister, is one of my best friends. So just really cool to see one of my former teammates competing in alpine ski racing. Breezy Johnson is also an alum of my ski program that I was a part of. And then Tasia Tanner, who is in aerials, went to my high school growing up. Her dad was my Chinese teacher and is someone I've known for quite a long time. So shout out to those 3 Olympians. Pretty cool to know people in the games. But after the break, when we come back, it'll be another person I know, Cece DeBaum, the Husker track and field athlete. We'll learn all about her and also get into what she does off of the track, which I'm really excited about after the break.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, squeeze every lemon, and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day, because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey, Nebraska, this is your moment. Love Nebraska is already making noise on the court, but they're still missing one thing, a nickname. That's where you come in. Love Nebraska is giving fans the chance to submit the team's official nickname. Fans will then vote on the finalists later this season. Head to lovebneb.com/nameyourteam to submit your nickname and get in the game. Submissions end on February 22nd. Name your team, shape the legacy.
Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice and check out a brand new 2026 Ford Explorer for only $39,995. That's right, under $40,000 for a brand new Explorer, loaded with extras like Copilot 360, second row captain's chairs, and more. With approved credit, receive financing as low as 2.9%. Treat mom to a new Explorer for Valentine's Day this year from Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect. MSRP $45,175.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Hey, Nebraska, this is your moment. Love Nebraska is already making noise on the court, but they're still missing one thing, a nickname. That's where you come in. Love Nebraska is giving fans the chance to submit the team's official nickname. Fans will then vote on the finalists later this season. Head to lovneb.com/nameyourteam to submit your nickname and get in the game. Submissions end on February 22nd. Name your team, shape the legacy.
This ain't pop. This ain't pretty. This is Southern hospitality. The Black Crows. Blue-soaked guitars, outlaw swagger. The Southern Hospitality Tour. Rock and roll the way it was meant to be. Loud, raw, and real. The Black Crows. With South Hall, August 4th, Pinewood Bowl Theater and Lincoln's Pioneers Park. Tickets on sale Friday, February 6th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com.
Lincoln's Coffee Week is now Coffee Month in February. With 25 participating venues, visit and check into at least 10 for a chance to win a $250 gift card to the venue of your choice. More details at lincoln.org/coffee-month, brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Back to Arden's Angle on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Arden Louchheim.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Arden's Angle on 93.7 The Ticket. I am Arden Louchheim, here with one of my closest friends, my freshman year roommate, one of the best things Nebraska has brought me, Cece DeBomb.
It sounds way clearer when you say it like that.
Here's the thing, is that I've known you for 3 years, and I call you CC DeBomb because that sounds awesome, but it's in fact not how you say your last name.
No, it's not, but it sounds way cooler. So I'm
Is
okay
it
with
Daybomb?
Daybomb, yeah.
So it's Barry Bova Daybomb.
Yep.
Nailed it.
Yes.
See, I did live with her. But yeah, so Cece was my freshman year roommate. That's how I got to know her. We didn't know each other before college. We lived in kind of a suite style. So I was with a golfer and then in like a Jack and Jill, and you were with Aubrielle, who's also on the track team.
Yep.
And yeah, it was the four of us in there. It was awesome. And we've stayed really good friends since then. So it's been, really fun for me to get to have that relationship with you and kind of stay close, even though we don't live together anymore. But just a little bit about Cece Jr. from Fargo, North Dakota. She is a very accomplished jumper, a sprinter, and a hurdler. And you also are now doing many other sports or many other events because you're in the multi.
Yes, I am.
So we'll talk about that. But just a couple of highlights last year in 2025 in the indoor, she won the long jump at the Graduate Classic, jumping 6.15 meters. That's insane. That's so far. She finished top 5 in long jump at the Mark Colligan Memorial and finished 8th in the 60-meter dash with 7.78 seconds, which is absolutely insane. I've seen her run. It's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. In outdoor, you won the 4x100 relay at the Ward Haley Invite and finished 8th in the relay at Big Ten Championships, as well as 17th in the long jump. So yeah, just a very accomplished athlete in your own right. I love cheering you on. I think I have so much respect for your sport and everything you do. We were at giving a speech at a school the other day, and one of the little kids raised his hand and goes, "What sport do you think is harder, golf or track?" And I immediately go, "Yeah, track, for sure. For sure." Because, I mean, it's just insane. Like, first off, talk to us about just how you got involved in the sport, what that looked like for you, and then we'll kind of jump off from there.
So I started track I really started track in middle school, but I've been running my entire life. Just your parents set you up on the line, you run straight and go as fast as you can, and hopefully you win. And luckily I did. And so then in 6th grade, I started doing it, was pretty fast. And then high school, kept it going. I got moved up in middle school, so I started with the high school team a little earlier. And then probably sophomore year of high school is when I started to take it a bit more seriously. I was like, okay, let's start considering college.
And so at what point during that sophomore year did you, realize like this could be something I go D1 for, this could be something I do?
I started getting letters from some schools, but then also at the conference meet, there's a pretty accomplished runner from North Dakota, Laura Raisler. She won the Bowerman, which is like the Heisman of track in college. And so when I broke her record, I was like, wait a second, this might be going somewhere.
Casual flex. No, that's awesome. Did you ever play any other sports growing up, or was it always kind of track?
I did play volleyball in middle school. I didn't enjoy it that much, but I do sometimes wish I did play a bit more, but also I'm not great with the ball sports. Like basketball, I tried, I could not figure it out, but so I just did stick with track for the most part.
What's your favorite part about track? Kind of like what drew you to it?
I feel like just running fast, and I'd say that's the best part, because people will, like, when they think of track, like, how fast do you run your mile? I don't run a mile.
Yeah,
I will not run
a
mile. But I think just running the sprints and jumping in the sand, I think that's just super fun. And when you're doing well at it, it's even.
Yeah. It's watching you run for me the entire time, just watching you do your sport has me in awe. I was talking about it last week. I had my current roommates on, the gymnasts, and same thing when I watch them, it's crazy. But for you, it's something that like we can all do, right? Like we all can run, and then you're just with gymnastics, like I can't do those flips, but I can run. And you're just doing it at such a different level that it's wild. It's like I can broad jump. I do that. But you're on a different planet with it, which is just so wild to me. So we alluded to it. Not only are you running and jumping this year, but you're also doing the multi. So for people who aren't familiar with track, kind of walk us through what that exact sport is.
So indoor, the multi for women consists of the 800, high jump, shot put, long jump, and 60-meter hurdles. And so basically you start early in the morning, around a little bit before the afternoon, and you just go through all 5 events in one day. And so you start with the hurdles and you end with the 800, which is the worst event for most multis and for me, because I don't run miles. And so that has been a huge adjustment, just figuring out how to do it. But I've also enjoyed it so much this past fall.
So what did that kind of first off, why did you choose to do the multi this year?
So I didn't choose it. My coach kind of just told me. And so at first I was like, oh, he goes, no, I told you that. I'm like, you did not. And so at first I was like, okay, I was a little reluctant, but then I was like, okay, wait. He like mapped it out. I was looking at this score sheet. I was like, okay, I can do this. This is something I can definitely do. And so we started just to tackle it, because we just thought I'm someone that needs multiple things. And so it would ultimately help my long jump in the long run. And then I'd also just do this at the same time. And so it wasn't my idea at first. I didn't really know it was going to happen. And when it did happen, I just went with the flow.
What has been the hardest event to learn? Like, had you done all 5 of those before this?
Well, when I was younger, I did do a pent when I was like, I don't know, 10, 12.
Mm-hmm.
But coming into it, I feel like the hardest practices had been high jump. But that's also the one I think I'll have the most fun doing. But those practices tore me apart. I struggled with those, but I also had a lot of fun. Shot put is really fun because it's just so different than any of the other things I've done before. I've hurdled before, I've long jumped before, and the practices usually consist of like I get tired of like I'm breathing, my heart rate goes up. Shot put, that doesn't happen. I throw the ball, walk, get the ball, and come back and throw the ball again. And so usually I'll do like 20 or so throws with the actual shot put, and then he'd be like, okay, practice is done. I'm like, what do you mean practice is done? I haven't broke a sweat. I'm not out of breath. Are you sure?
Do you feel like you like have to break a sweat for a practice to be accomplished?
Not necessarily, but I feel like I should be breathing a little bit at least.
It's
or
so-
like be tired.
It's so funny to me to picture you because I haven't gotten to watch you do shot put yet. And like you have an image, I feel like most people do, of like what shot putters look like and what throwers look like. And like even on the team, like that
Yes.
matches that. They're bigger and they're, bulkier
Mhm.
people. So they, mass moves mass, right?
Yes.
And so you're not exactly that.
Yeah.
And so it's so funny to me to like picture you doing shot put and spinning around. So
No, me too.
I cannot wait to watch
Yes.
you do it,
No,
but
I'm
I'm
excited.
really excited about that. So which event do you think is the hardest? 800?
I'd say yes, just because like the first like real 800 practice I had, my body had a reaction to it. Like I was unwell. I was on the ground, like in the fetal position, and I just did not want to move. And I still had more to do, which was the worst part. I still had more. Like I wasn't done with practice.
So we're looking for somewhere like in between shot put practice and 800
Yes.
practice.
And so it was the hardest thing I've ever done. And I laid on the ground for a little under an hour until I finished up.
Good for you. Way to keep pushing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. So then, excuse me for not knowing, but are you doing just multi, or are you still also doing like your relays and your jumping and stuff like
Yes,
that?
I'm still doing the relays and the jumping because the multi, you only compete the multi probably 2 or 3 times in the season because
Okay.
it's just so hard on our body. It's tiring. And so for me, especially, we did it to help my long jump. And so I'm going to still continue long jumping. And so when I'm not doing the multi, maybe I'll long jump at one meet, or I'll do long jump hurdles and shot put at a meet. There's things to continue to get the practice in, but I won't do the full multi in one meet every.
What's your favorite event to do in track and field?
I'd probably have to say long jump.
I like the clapping before
Me
you
too.
go.
It really, you just have to do, when that moment's right, you just know that you need to do it. And like even my teammates, like some people, they'll do it right from the first jump. I'm not usually that person,
Mhm.
but like once I get in there, I ask the crowd for some help. We start the clap up and you just run down the runway. And it's the best feeling, especially when everyone's clapping with you.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, I didn't until I went to a track meet. Sometimes when the jumper is at the end of the runway, they'll put their hands above their head and start clapping, kind of like a YMCA sort of thing, and you do it with them. Yeah,
I
above
guess,
your
yeah.
head. And you kind of do it with them as they go down the runway, and it's super cool. I've kind of felt this way in golf because you can practice so much, but then the swing happens so fast. How do you practice to then basically just react in your sport of like the running down the runway, the jumping and all that happens so fast?
Mhm.
So are you thinking when you're jumping, or are you kind of just letting your practice kick in?
I do think a little bit when I'm jumping, especially just like my first couple steps. I count those just to make sure that I'm getting the correct amount of pushes. And then from there, it's just feeling. My coach is really big on feeling. And so in practice, he wants us to feel feel it. It's
Mhm.
not looking at the video or any of those things. So when I get down, once I get past those first 6 steps, it's usually just feeling. And I kind of count, but I kind of don't. I also see the board before I get there. And so once I get there, I'm just going off practice, I guess.
Flying through the air.
Yeah. Hopefully that's the plan.
Is sand just everywhere in your laundry, and
Yes.
you can't get away from
no,
it?
It's everywhere. Once we start getting in the sand, it never goes away. It's constantly in my shoes, and you can like pump out your shoes as much as you want. There's gonna be sand still.
Credit to you, there was never sand in our dorm.
That's because I always swept it up.
I like literally, I was kind of not like nervous because within a week of living with you, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she's very clean. But I know you're in the sand every day, and like I would
Yeah.
go play sand volleyball for fun and track like half of the court back in with me. And like from you, there was never an ounce.
No, there's 100% sand. I just cleaned it up
Oh,
before
well,
you got
good
there.
for you. That was
visits everywhere.
take notes, future freshman roommates. Everyone should get a CC
Yes,
because it
clean
was
up your
awesome.
sand.
Okay, that was a lot about your sport, but as we'd like to do on my show, I want to kind of get to know you from a different angle.
Mhm.
So what do you think is something that Husker fans don't know about you?
I am Nigerian and I enjoy baking a lot.
Your baking was so bad for me because I was the benefit of, or I guess the recipient of a lot of the baking.
Yes.
And the scales started going up, and I had to tell Cece, like, I love your baking, but I need far, far less of it.
Yeah.
Because I will eat it.
No.
So what do you enjoy about baking? Is it kind of like a release for you, or what have you always been a baker? Because I feel like knowing you, it's been a lot more this year.
Yes, it has definitely been a lot more this year. Last semester, I was a bit more stressed with school and new event, all the different things. So I was just a little bit more stressed. And so on the weekends, usually, especially after the week was done, I needed something to relax, and TV and reading wasn't cutting it. So I went to the kitchen and started baking a bunch.
What's your favorite thing you've baked? Because I have my answer, but.
Oh. I think I made. Oh, my coach, he was telling me he wanted me to make my own he wanted me to be more creative in the kitchen, not just like copying other people's recipes. So I kind of made like my own cookie just with all the things that he wanted in it. And it
Like
actually
a kitchen
turned out.
sink thing?
Yeah.
Nice.
But like it had chocolate, peanut butter, like ginger snapish cookie, but there's also oatmeal in there. He had a lot of requests. And so I just kind of put it into one cookie, and it actually turned out really well. And I put the chocolate in the middle, so it was kind of ooey and gooey and stuff. And I was kind of proud of myself.
You made me pumpkin chocolate chip bread in October. It was so good. Like, you guys don't understand. I saw it. It was one of those things that, when you see something, I guess you wouldn't know because you don't have TikTok, but you see, which I also will ask you about that after the break. But you see something and you immediately just want it. And you asked me that same day because Cece and I are very busy. Our schedules don't always align, but I'm proud of us. We make time every week to get coffee. So last semester it was coffee on Tuesdays, and this semester we do coffee on Mondays, which I just think is awesome because I get to talk to you every week. And I didn't realize how much effort you have to put in to like see people when you don't live with them anymore.
Yes.
And I think kudos to us because that's been great.
Putting in the work.
But yeah, you asked me that day what I wanted, and I was like, no, I just saw pumpkin chocolate chip bread, and it was like, I wish you guys could taste it. It was so good. And then you also made me coffee cake.
Yeah, that was actually really. I was proud of myself.
Too.
That one was. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself.
And then I think after that is when I was like, I think you need to give me less.
Yeah,
but you did make. I got like a.
No, you got a bunch of other things too.
A bunch.
Not a bunch, but you got a good amount of stuff.
You gave me one other thing that you also gave to one of our softball friends, Emerson. I can't remember what it was, but it was delicious. Basically, everything that Cece makes is incredible. After the break, we are going to touch on, like I said, the lack of social media, a little bit about Nigeria, and then we're going to finish up with some rapid fire baking questions. Perfect. But that'll all be after the break here on Arden's Angle.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
The Black Crows are coming to Pinewood Bowl on Tuesday, August 4th, and we want to give you the chance to win free tickets. Tune in all week long for chances to win a pair of tickets each day on The Drive with me, Nick Sainert, and Aaron Davis this week only.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
It's the two-fingered wave on a gravel road. It's letting the kids take dad's truck to prom. It's Friday nights under the lights of a hometown football field. Eustace Body Shop knows small towns. It's where our values are rooted. We treat our people right, and in turn, they treat you, our customer, right. And we give back to our communities. Not much more small town than that. Eustace Body Shop, small town service, big city technology.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on making the most craveable chicken finger meals, getting them right every time. That's why we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, salt every fry, Squeeze every lemon and brew every ounce. We do this inside every Raising Cane's, every day. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hey fellas, let's take a quick time out here. February is American Heart Month, and listen, men are the worst at getting checked out. We'll watch every stat in the league, but ignore the most important one. That's our own heart health. So here's the plan. Talk to your doctor about scheduling a quick heart screening at Advanced Medical Imaging. It's fast, it's easy, and it could save your life. Your family needs you around a lot more than your fantasy team does. Make the call, get the checkup, take care of your heart at Advanced Medical Imaging.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Back to Arden's Angle on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, Arden Louchheim.
Welcome back to Arden's Angle. I have one of my favorite people on this planet, Cece DeBomb. DeBomb.
Nope, you got it.
DeBomb. I'm always going to call you DeBomb. It's just going to happen. I was preparing for this show, and I was like, I don't know how to say her last name right.
No, it's okay.
But yeah, track athlete for the Cornhuskers, does really just does it all. But we've talked enough about your sport. Love you and love your sport. But let's talk about your hobbies, kind of who you are as a person. You mentioned before the break that you are Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
This past summer, you went back to Nigeria on a pretty cool trip that you've told me about. So just kind of talk about that. Tell the people.
Okay, so I've only been to Nigeria twice, and it's been twice in the past 3 years. So I went before freshman year, and the first time it was really, I don't know. Like, I grew up Nigerian. I ate Nigerian food. Like, everything I did was Nigerian. I basically lived in Nigeria, but I was raised in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we went back, I met all of my family. None of my family lives in the U.S., so we got to just meet so many people. So it was literally just so many people coming over to our house and just meeting a bunch of people. They'd stay over. Someone else would leave. More people would come. And so it's just constant flow of people coming in and out of our house and just meeting my aunts, my uncles, my cousins, and like all these people I've never met before. But one thing that was really funny was when we first got there, Nigeria it's a corrupt country. And so like it's not doing the best economically. But so when we went there in the airport, to make things go a little easier, you often have to pay money. And
Mm-hmm.
so my younger brother, he was like pushing all of our bags like outside, and all these like security guards started like yelling at him, telling him to like to stop, but everyone else was telling him to go, and he was like so scared. He had no idea what was going on. He just did not know what to do, and so that was really funny.
What ultimately happened?
Oh, we just went.
No,
with it. That's what we were told to do, and we're like, it doesn't matter because they just wanted money. So
yeah. And so then the most recent trip was for, I guess, not as fun circumstances.
Yeah.
But I guess what was it like to feel like you grew up Nigerian? Kind of, I know you said to me you almost feel like you were a little more Nigerian than some of like your cousins who actually lived there based on the way that you grew up and how you've done things. So just what was the experience like of being actually in the location of where a lot of your customs come from?
I think it was pretty cool just to see like how my cousins also perceived us, because they definitely thought we were the most American, like we were going to be the most American kids, ate burgers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, ate all these sugary cereals, but in reality we ate all the same food that they ate. And so going back last time, it was for a funeral, and so like I've only been to one other funeral before that, and it wasn't like your typical funeral, but going back for this, it was a 3-day event. I had a different outfit for each day, and
they were so pretty too.
Yes,
You're
heavy, but they were heavy, and so I was sweating a bunch. But that was really fun, and so just I don't know, seeing just the different. I was immersed in the culture, but not to the extent of Nigeria. Because my family was Nigerian, but everyone else around us, there's not a bunch of Nigerians in North Dakota.
Yeah, like you almost didn't have the community aspect of it.
So then when we went there, it's like the entire community, everyone's speaking our language, and it's just, I don't know, super cool to see. And then like going to the markets, a whole like debacle where it's like they don't want us to, like my younger brother and I especially, to speak just because we sound more American, and so like the people are gonna know we're Americans, so they're gonna try to upcharge us, and then it's just constantly trying to bargain and all these different things.
Yeah. I don't know. I just loved hearing kind of you telling me about that. And I found that so interesting. So kind of to my point of wanting to take a new angle, I think that's a pretty cool one. Quick question that I meant to touch on earlier, but I want to get to before we do your rapid fire. You have no social media.
I do not.
What kind of prompted that? How have you stayed off social media? Just that's pretty uncommon for people our age.
Yeah. I don't know. My parents weren't a big fan of it growing up, so we just weren't allowed to have it. And then by the time, like my brother has Instagram and all that stuff. My younger brother has TikTok now, but I don't know. He's the youngest. You know how it goes.
Yeah.
And I just didn't care for it, especially TikTok. I'm like, I get distracted enough as it is. I don't need TikTok because I know I'd get really distracted by it. And then Instagram, I honestly do think I should get it soon, but I
have so many posts to tag you in. Cece is all over my Instagram, and I never tag her. So then I always show her. I'm like, oh, look, you were in my post. So
yeah, there's no like real reason, I guess, for it. It's just I haven't gotten it. I don't think I really need it, but also with NIL and all this stuff that's going on.
That's fair. I have so much respect for you for like kind of resisting it, I guess, because if I could go back, I honestly, TikTok specifically, I just would never have gotten because it's such a time suck. Okay, to end us off, I've done this with every guest. For Sam Hoiberg, it was golf related. For my roommates, it was roomie related. For you, I want to go baking related.
Okay.
So rapid fire, chocolate chip or sugar cookies?
Chocolate chip.
Brownies, fudgy or cakey?
Cakey.
Corner or middle?
Corner.
Okay. Frosting or glaze?
Like on what?
Like a donut.
Oh, glaze.
Vanilla or chocolate, just as a whole?
Vanilla.
Sprinkles, yes or unnecessary?
Unnecessary.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Warm dessert or chilled dessert?
Warm dessert.
What are our feelings on cake pops?
I don't know. I don't really like them.
Okay. Going more into baking habits. Are we measuring precisely or are we eyeballing?
A little bit of both. Like I use my scale just because I'm lazy and
Your scale?
Sorry, Arden's scale that she gave to me, so it is now mine. But I'm just lazy and I hate having to pour things into the actual measuring cup. So it just makes it way easier when I can just look for a number on the scale. But then also like vanilla, I just toss it in there. If I think I need a little bit more or something, I'm trying to toss it in.
That's fair. Clean as you go or disaster kitchen?
A little bit of both.
Okay. Silicone spatula or wooden spoon?
Silicone.
Stand mixer or hand mixer?
I wish a stand mixer. I really want a KitchenAid.
I'm looking into how I can get my hands on a stand mixer for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna make it happen.
Good to know.
One of these days. Baking at midnight or early morning? Actually, you're asleep during midnight every time, so it's got to be early morning.
But I feel like midday.
I was gonna say your sleeping habits are elite. Yeah. Literally, if anyone wants to model themselves off of a human, go with Cece because she is the most disciplined person I've ever met. She follows such a strict schedule. She doesn't have social media. One of the hardest workers I know, and just an absolute joy to talk to.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on my show. This was just the best to have you.
Thanks
I love
for
you so
having
much.
me. I loved it.
Keep a lookout for her name and the rest of the Husker Track and Field team. They have their indoor season right now, and then outdoor season and outdoor Big Ten championships are being hosted here in Nebraska.
Yes, it is.
In mid-May, late May?
Mid-May.
Okay. We will keep you posted on that and all other things sports here on Arden's Angle. Have a great night.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Hey guys.